Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Team Building with Zooch, where I take a live guest and team build with them for a matchup. And then afterwards, I'll go ahead and review the replay and talk about how the game went, how I think the team performed, and everything else. So, without further ado, we have our guest SirKill with us here today. What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? How's everything?
I'm doing fantastic. Ready to get into another building session. I think actually gonna be number 30 or maybe 31. So a lot of building going on, but I'm excited for each one, man. I'm hoping we can cook up a good team here.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is just regular Terra preview, Paldea decks, nothing crazy, right?
Yeah, just the standard. So this is the TBC,
Okay.
and they
Yep.
decided to do they decided to do 8 mod this time, which I
Mhm.
found really refreshing.
Mhm.
Cause like 9 to 11 mod, you start getting burnt out quite a bit because the prep just gets a bit more complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 8 mod is just so much easier on you. So
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah.
think that's why a lot of people kind of just stick to tours and maybe do just only like one league every now and then because tours are always 8 mon. So it's a lot less like like you said, like building for like more mons is a bit more like time consuming and stuff. So, but and then usually in
Yeah.
tours too, like you have like other people helping you. So it's not too
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
so you did say this is TBC, so this is actually playoffs, right? I think
Yeah, this is quarterfinals round
for
one.
and what seed did you finish?
I finished fourth seed, so that's I could have finished second, but yeah, I just did not do well in my last week.
Okay,
So yeah,
okay,
but
that's cool.
I'm very happy with my season. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Even just making playoffs is nice. Who are you playing against?
So this is okay. So this is a guy called Techno Scrub. So
Oh, okay.
there's like I don't know if you know. So there's two technos, right? There's like the base
Yeah,
techno,
yeah. I know
that
Techno
like
Scrub.
everyone
Yeah.
knows, and then
Mhm.
yeah, and then there's Techno Scrub. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's a very good player, by the way. He like kicked my ass like 2 seasons ago.
Did he? Oh my god, that's
Like
funny.
I got demolished so hard, but yeah.
So I'm assuming he was the fifth seed then, if you were the fourth.
Yeah, he had a
Okay.
really good season too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. 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 So, all right, we got interesting teams here. Have you looked at this matchup at all, or not really? I know it's kind of the beginning of the week, so.
It like just like a very rough overview.
Okay. Okay. Did you
Team,
did you
right?
play him in the regular season?
No,
No.
not in the regular season. No, no.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is interesting. I think a couple of things definitely stand out. His team is. I mean, both your guys' teams aren't like the fastest, but his team is a bit definitely slower than yours. So, I mean, something like I think at first glance, I mean, usually Terra Raging Bolt is probably like the best Pokemon offensively into the opposing team. But I actually think your Ogerpon is actually pretty good here. Um, the only fire resists are this guy, which doesn't want to take a grass move after, right? And then
Yeah,
Moltres, but you can obviously run rock coverage for Moltres. So I think
yeah,
I think Moltres is probably gonna maybe be the Terra target here. I mean, Hands is really really strong too. Um, but I
hmm,
feel like if he doesn't Terra Moltres, like your Ogerpon is gonna go crazy in this game. So I think maybe like
yeah.
trying to get that guy in as much as possible is definitely like a viable strategy here. Um, do have a question. Have you used Terra Avalog at all or no?
So this Avalog was like a last week edition. I had a Terra Sneasel
Oh, okay.
before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I have not used it, but I have used base Terra Hisuian Avalog quite a bit recently.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I'm pretty comfortable using the Avalog. I have no issues with that.
yeah. I mean, I actually think even Terra Avalog too. So I know it might be a bit crazy because obviously Terra Raging Bolt is so good. Um,
Yeah.
but the reason why like I'm thinking like Terra Avalok here is because if you Terra into something like let's say fighting, right? If you look at all the physical attackers, one, two, three, four, they none of them can hit Avalog hard. Like if you're Terra
Yeah.
fighting, right? So, this basically becomes a check to a lot of things. Um,
Hmm.
and I don't think he's gonna have all four of these Pokemon. He probably will not. So he's only gonna have limited options to kill to kill you. I think it's gonna probably have to come from either Moltres or Primarina. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think if we dedicate maybe like kind of like a check to these guys, could be like a Spadef Braviary or a Spadef Tinkaton, then I think you're gonna be able to end up just chipping those guys down and literally have Avalugg beat everything else. I might be overestimating Avalugg, I don't know, but I think Terra Avalugg
Mm-hmm.
is actually pretty strong as a lower tier Terra captain.
It is especially if you can tear it pretty early, like it becomes extremely bulky.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
one thing that has what I have been facing a lot of Terra ground in the regular season.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know if the either Hands or Moltres want to be Terra ground,
Hmm.
but I won't be surprised. Another big thing is they're very flying weak. Like,
Yeah, their only
so
flying
I
resist
think
is
they
this
would,
guy. Yeah.
yeah, and they don't want to like. I've been using a Braviary offensively a lot this season, like bulk up setup a lot. So,
Hmm.
um, something to account for that as well. Maybe they could like Terra versus that, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It would have to be like Terra, like Steel, maybe,
Hmm.
because I resist both of its stabs.
Yeah, if they are, yeah. If no, one more thing is like I think if they are scared of the Ogerpon, I think Terra Dragon also makes
Hmm.
quite a lot of sense into me too.
Yeah, Terra
Like,
Dragon. Yeah.
like, like Terra Dragon Hands, for example.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. How's the removal? The removal is just spin.
Yeah. Mhm.
You do have a spin blocker. I'm thinking the treads might go special here, because like
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
definitely helps with
Is
Pecharunt, and I guess it does help with this
mhm.
guy too if we do bring it too. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
yeah, it should be special here in my opinion, but that's okay. We can also potentially go Terra Ghost on this guy. We would be weak to like Weavile, but again, even if we're like Colberberry, Weavile is not going to be doing anything to this guy if we're Fizdef. Um, so we
mm-hmm.
could technically have like a double spin block, or maybe we don't bring Petron. I don't really know. Um, to kind of help with
Hmm.
that. I'm kind of curious how much does like Earth Power do to Avalok though? If we're Terra'd into Ghost, as it says in the calc. Treads with Earth Power. Yeah, it does a lot of damage. We don't have great Spadef. So, um, it's still definitely bringable for these three guys. I think if
One
Treads
more.
comes in, though, we do have to expect special. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like, what if he's something like a bulk up Dogi? Is the Avalok beating that, for example?
Oh yeah, 'cause if we're Iron Defense, yeah. I mean, I guess
Ah, okay,
technically,
okay.
but it can technically get like a toxic poison off on us, and then it would probably take us a while
Mm-hmm.
to beat it. So that's definitely an
Mm-hmm.
option. So I don't know. Maybe we just stick with just like a standard like Fizdef Tank or Colberberry. This guy to check the offensive guys. Um, that was just like a first glance type of like thing that I saw, like, oh, like it could be good, but maybe that was too much of a cuck. We'll see. So, um, what Pokemon is obvious? So yeah, so I think we throw Ogerpon on to start though. Um,
Yeah, pretty strong.
we
I
the
think
th
the best thing is, I think the Raging Bolt is kind of best be made last.
mhm.
Um, like just like we make it the set that complements the team,
Yeah,
rather than yeah, in this case especially. So yeah.
I want to see how much we're doing a Prima with this guy. If we could do Horn Leech instead of Power Whip,
Yeah, 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 I was thinking that as well.
because obviously
Sure.
missing sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Horn Leech. Yeah, I mean, after all, this is also max Fizdef, so I think you're okay with Horn Leech here.
Yeah,
If
and it's
rocks are
very
up, it
bulky
definitely
as
does.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is max
and you're
Fizdef.
pretty bulky as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so I think we're fine with Horn Leech here. We
yeah.
definitely need rock coverage, so it is just Rock
Rock
Tomb.
Tomb.
Does Rock Tomb just kill Moltres?
Yeah.
right? It should, right? Uh,
Yeah.
not quite
Oh
actually.
wow. Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that thing is bulkier than I thought. Then.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing is, like, we can't get flame body burn though if we hit it. So, um,
I mean, the fly. If it does take like flying coverage, then it's kind of dead as well.
yeah, yeah.
So.
This
Mhm.
last slot is interesting. It could be like Encore just to have a protect versus like some sort of
Mhm.
setup. One of these two guys. Could be
Yeah.
Swords Dance if you
Uh,
think we could just win with this guy.
One big thing is Mold Breaker ignores heat proof on the teacup as well,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
So
pretty
you'll
big.
blow. Yeah, you'll blow past that guy. Do we? How much do we do to Uxie for his fist def? Mm, about a third. What about?
Hmm.
We could do U-turn as the last slot just to hit Uxie after one more time, just so next time it dies.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We don't know what the check is gonna be, if that makes sense. Like
yeah, you
he
don't.
can, like I don't know. Yeah, it's like tricky to see what he'll dedicate as a check to this guy. So.
Yeah, I mean SD could literally just be the play, just because like if you cudgel, like you're not gonna just Swords Dance immediately, probably if a lot of things are healthy. But if you cudgel and you see
Hmm.
this guy's like max Fizz Def, then next time you just SD and then cudgel kills him the following turn. Well, there's a good chance, especially if rocks are up.
Hmm.
So, and again, this could be a win condition sort of set. I know it's probably going to be your breaker, but it does give you the win condition
Hmm.
option. Rock Tomb does also mean at +2, you obviously always kill this guy. Um,
Always, yeah.
again, you did mention Terra Dragon, so we could also just tech player up just to be like safe. Let's check how much we're
Yeah, yeah.
doing. Hands if it's Fizz Def.
Hmm.
I mean, if it's not a Terra that resists, it still does solid damage. How much does Play Rough do?
I don't think it'll do that much. Hand is very bulky.
Yeah, I mean, it does about 40 if he's just max Fizz Def, even if he's Terra
Yeah.
Dragons. So it's not bad to have for sure.
Hmm.
Mm,
Hmm. I think maybe come back to the last move in a bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Um,
Yeah.
w- what do you think about the treads? Like, is he gonna be like Jolly Treads in this game, or
Mm, I don't think so personally. I think he can get away
yeah,
with Adamant. Cause does Adamant
yeah,
outspeed Lando too anyway? It probably does, right? Or it's probably close.
uh,
Yeah,
pretty
it
close,
does.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
he can be Adamant if he's offensive. He probably will be. If he's defensive, then he probably won't be much speed anyway.
Hmm.
He could be. I
Yeah.
mean, it makes sense for him to have speed to outspeed like these guys.
He, he he probably wants something for the Raging Bolt as well. Because naturally it checks Raging Bolt.
Yeah,
Um,
it kind of has to be the Raging Bolt switch in because the other Dragon
yeah.
Resist gets blown back by an electric move, so it kind of
Yeah.
has to be
Usually,
the Bolt switch.
yeah. Usually, like it's usually they run Assault Vest into Raging Bolt.
Hmm. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking, if again we might not bring Terra Avalog, but if we did, I was thinking for Bolt we probably make it like an eject pack set just to get momentum into this guy because this guy should be the switch in. But obviously we
Yeah.
can
That's
make this
cool.
a Terra just to beat down the treads anyway. It'd probably
Yeah. Yeah.
be it'd probably be fire if I had to guess because again we're faster than Prima. And fire helps us
Mm-hmm.
not get revenged by Weavile too.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So probably fire, if I had to guess, would be the Terra at first glance.
The only issue I guess with fire is the treads still does pretty well into you, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'd probably be Shuckaberry as the item.
Okay, 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 okay. Alright, alright.
Let's see how much we actually do to Treads if he's Assault Vest with Raging Bolt. Curious.
Mm-hmm.
Terra Fire, Terra Blast into Treads, Assault Vest. Am I calculating that right? Oh wait, this is Protosynthesis. Get out of here. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Max but Def Assault Vest still gets 2 shot.
Two shot, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we can literally
Mhm.
just be Shuckaberry and make sure. I mean, if you
What
want,
about
yeah, go
what
ahead.
about like what about like Terra fighting? Because the I guess the only problem is the Moltres still, but like
Ye-
uh, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, why would you
Honestly,
want fighting over fire? Just to not be weak to EQ or like Earth
I get
Power or whatever.
I guess that's like the only reason. Um,
Yeah, because I mean,
to
yeah, you're still one-shotting like this guy, for example. Um,
But yeah, then I'm like weak to Moltres, so.
yeah.
Mhm.
I also just realized, yeah. I think I said earlier with the Ogerpon this was the only fire resist, but or did I don't know if I mentioned Moltres too, but yeah, Moltres is there. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, double fire seems nice just to overwhelm, like double fire offensive to overwhelm the Prima, and you could even be something um, like you can literally like the second bolt comes in, you can literally just predict and go for the fire blast right
Paralyzed.
away, because again, even if they
Yeah.
bring in one of these two guys, like you could just run Volt Switch or whatever we run, and you're fine.
Right. Yeah.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
probably make sure we're faster than this guy for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
probably be pretty speedy. Um,
Mhm.
and then you just Volt Switch on Moltres too. Like Moltres, if you're Terra Fire, like it doesn't do much to you. Even if it runs a ground move,
Mhm.
which there's no reason to really run a ground move. Flamethrower does enough to these guys anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking like just double offensive
I
fire is pretty solid here.
I could still see the ground move into the bolt because like
Mhm.
base because like stabs Moltres doesn't do much to it,
Mhm.
so I could see it. I guess.
Yeah. So again, if you do happen to catch the thing and then we're Shokaberry, like we're good. Plus, like
Mhm.
he might be. Like I said, we think he's gonna be special here. So Earth Power should be doing even less than
Like,
Earthquake.
yeah, one other thing I could see is like an Uxie just trying to like encore into like a potential Calm Mind as
Yep.
well.
Yep. That's true. That's why
Like,
I think it is important just to straight up attack first. Um,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
but yeah, even if he's like max HP, he could be Spadef too if that is going to be the bolt check instead. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we'll get a quarter off, and then we'll see like that is the switch in instead, and then maybe next time we go for
Yeah,
a different
a wall
attacker.
switch.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So we'll throw that set on for now. Again, we can't change it because I do like bolt usually kind of being the last set, like you said, but I think
Yeah,
it just stands out right now. Like that's a pretty solid set. We'll do
yeah.
Volt.
I actually really love overwhelming teams like the double fire, for example, right? Like
Yeah.
double fairy, etc. Like you can
Yeah.
punish some really big stuff this way.
Yeah. I think we probably just do stab as last two, or not discharge T-bolt, and then I like to have a dragon move just in case. Again, we do see Terra Dragon or just hit something hard, just Draco. It's either gonna be Draco or
Yeah,
Dragon Pulse.
yeah. I think Dragon Pulse is a bit better.
You like Dragon Pulse? Let's check hands because again that might be the Terra. If we Terra
Yeah.
Dragon. Dragon, I'm blind. Dragon, right here. Um, so this is, let's check max Spadef. We're gonna be modest here for sure. So yeah, I mean that's pretty good
Yeah.
chip. Like that's Draco would
Mm-hmm.
obviously one shot him. We would take a
Mm-hmm.
drop though. Another thing too, because we would be Terrifier, we would be weak to rocks. So I think we
Yeah, yeah,
probably
that's a big one.
focus on maybe like
Defog.
removing ourselves. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is fine. He doesn't have like
Mm-hmm.
spikes or anything, so it's really just rocks, which is fine. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, his only rocker is this guy, right?
Nah, the Uxie as well.
Oh, see, yeah, I'm blind. Okay, yeah, so these two guys. So, those guys don't have recovery at least, so we could chip them down and then defog later if we want, and then not have to worry
Yeah.
about it. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
we could also again just make this boots if you want, and again we're just predicting the fire move, and then if you catch the fire move, do half. You could just switch and then come back in later, or you can choose
Mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
just to eat up the ground move, whatever. So we can leave the
Yeah,
item. We'll put Shuka for now, but that's definitely open to change. Here we can
yeah.
roll with Dragon Pulse, like you said, and then I think we really do
Mm.
want to just make sure we're faster than
Faster than Prim.
Prim. We can go Modest actually, which would be like here.
Yeah.
So something like that is fine, I think. So we
Mm-hmm.
have our double, like pretty much these are both kind of breakers,
Yeah.
which is solid. Um, let's see. Yeah, I think we have to put Braviary, right? I think it's just too good
It's
here,
so good.
and just
Yeah,
the
it's
the
very good.
yeah, just the defog too. That was nice. Um,
Mhm.
this could be Spadef because we could technically use it to switch into Prima, and then if they Moonblast, like we get a Defiant boost potentially
Yeah, we gotta define
if we
this.
are
Yeah.
Defiant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious how much does Primarina do to Braviary. Let's see.
If it's
So
fast specs, that could be annoying.
yeah, specs we can still technically. Oh wait, this isn't. No, this is just max special attack modest. Specs. How does specs look? I mean, our
Like
only
pretty
water
decent.
resist is Bull actually, so
Yeah.
could technically be that. Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty slow though, and we have a lot of things that just do a lot of damage. Hmm. It could be specs. It could be.
Yeah.
We could make. Um. I was gonna say we could make this guy like a. So what's +1? This. So we could make this like Spadef with a citrus berry, so we always live 2.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
And then like you'll get kind of like no at least right away. Okay, it's specs. So. I mean, honestly,
Mhm.
I think specs is fine because we have so many ways to just straight up kill it, like that are
Yeah.
faster. Even
Mhm.
like Pecharunt probably like with the malignant chain does a lot. This is assault
Yeah.
vest, so this is not invested 2 shots. So I mean, it's an option for sure, but I think he might need it more like defensively. I'm
Mhm.
thinking maybe like a Fizdef Rindell berry to try to catch this guy, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, let's see. So Landorus, obviously, it's not too good here. I don't think.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm. Mhm.
Weavile obviously is the big one, and then Spinner Treads is probably gonna have that. Sinistra kind of walls
Yeah.
it. Hands,
Mhm.
even though it's weak in tank. Moltres is annoying for it. Uxie is pretty good into Lander. So, mm,
Yeah.
maybe Landorus
Yeah.
isn't the
Yeah.
best here. I'm thinking,
Mhm.
yeah, which means Tinkaton or Dia would be hazards, which is fine. Um,
Um.
what's the ghost? The ghost resist is Weavile. So
Mhm.
Pecharunt doesn't look too bad here. I'm thinking like a. I mean, it can definitely be Fizdef with like Colbur Berry or Shuka Berry, one of the two. Probably.
Yeah.
Mm,
Would need the treads weekend, but like Nasty Plot looks very good over here.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, like just need to see what the Uxie is, if it's like more Spadef or more speedy. But if let's say it's not as speedy, then I can just like plot into Shadow Ball that, for example.
Yeah. I mean, I think just plot, stab, recover is fine here. I don't think you need
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah,
Something
yeah.
that you
Pretty much.
could tech on is like Toxic, like for hands or for like Sinistra, like could come into clutch
Mm-hmm.
because the whole poison thing
Yeah.
too. Confusion is kind of annoying. Um,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they go like Terra Poison or Terra Steel to avoid that. Terra Steel,
But then,
but then
but
they're
then
they're
they're
weak.
weak to the Ogerpon.
Yeah.
I was thinking Terra Ground for similar reasons too, but yeah.
Mm. Yeah, we could just straight up go plot, recover, toxic, shadow ball, no malignant chain. Because again,
No malignant chain.
yeah, because
Okay.
again, like shadow ball is still good into everything, and you can just toxic and
If
then
it,
spam recover versus revile.
I mean, if we are mono ghost move, I think hex is better, right?
um, Not necessarily because it's not like we have like a T spiking plan going on.
Okay. Yeah,
Um, t-
that's.
toxic would just be there to kind of um just wear down like a hand, like a bulking up hands or something. But like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's up to you. I could see Hex working out too. It's really your call.
Yeah, I like Shadow Ball for the immediate because the doggy can't be toxic, right? So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think you are gonna probably end up going Colbur Berry here though, if I had to guess for Dogi and this
Yeah.
guy. I think it makes the
Exactly.
most
Yeah. Yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think even though your plot, I still think you're probably gonna be like obviously more defensive, um,
Right. Yeah.
defensive spread. So
Yeah.
Colbur Berry.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want any speed? Are
I
we?
guess good for the doggy, if possible, or
Yeah, I mean the Dogi is. If I'm the Dogi, I'm probably only gonna try to like outspeed like min speed, like Landorus maybe. Like there's no
yeah.
reason for him to
Yeah.
have a lot of speed, I don't think, unless he's like
Mm-hmm.
trying to speed type max speed Braviary, which would be kind of weird.
Yeah.
So we could put some speed to outspeed min speed Landorus perhaps. But he could also just very well be no speed. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see how much that is. 218. So I don't think we're gonna need a lot. Yeah, like 220. So it'd be something like that. Um,
Mm-hmm. Now, would you be more fatter or more offensive on
no,
Petra?
yeah, I think fatter for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Spadef or Fizdef?
this is probably
I
gonna be
think.
our initial hands switching if I had to guess.
Okay. 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 I get it. Yeah.
So
I can be more
probably,
Fizdef.
yeah, definitely max HP, and then I mean we could look at some like special calcs to see if we could fit
Mm-hmm.
in like a little bit, but I'm thinking majority is probably gonna go into the fizz
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So let's
Mm-hmm.
see,
Yeah.
Pecharunt versus let's check Prim real quick.
He's running a lot of SD hands.
SD
From what I
hands,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. Hands does not get bulk up, by the way.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if it. Yeah.
I
I
might have
mean,
said
it's
that.
SD.
Sorry, yeah, Swords Dance. Okay,
Yeah.
so like Swords Dance, like what? Earthquake would be the hardest.
Yeah. SD earthquake, drain punch. Uh, what's like the final move?
Probably just Thunder
Yeah.
Punch, or it needs
Ice
Ice
punch for
Punch
the
though.
Lando. Yeah.
It needs
Yeah.
Ice Punch and it needs. I guess he could just run Thunder Punch. Like he doesn't technically need Earthquake.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
Ice Punch. Does he need Drain
Yeah.
Punch
Ice punch.
here? Like
Drain punch is just nice for recovery onto
eh,
stuff.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think he just runs Thunder Punch because it hits a Dio as well. Although if he's like let's say going Terra ground, then he can just rely on EQ.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. So
So, but I mean, even like Sword, like if he goes to +2, then he, um, let's see. Actually, it does a lot. Okay, this is booster though. Let's get rid of the booster. +2. So I think we definitely want. Well, we would probably be bold here. Actually, not timid.
mhm.
We probably want to at least make sure we live this after rocks.
Yeah, and then go for a toxic.
Yeah. So it'd be like right here at least. And then yeah, if he swords
Yeah.
dances, we definitely toxic because if he hits himself, he's gonna do a lot of damage to himself.
Yeah.
To be funny. And then yeah, and then afterwards we probably just hex him down. Or
Yeah.
not hex, but a shadow ball. Um,
Yeah. This guy is so fat. Oh my god.
yeah. I'm thinking like maybe hex is actually a bit better here just because of that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we roll with Hex actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do Hex for now. That's a good call on your end. All right, so let's
Mm-hmm.
do 112 for now. What other attacks are coming our way? How about Weavile with a band knock off through Colbert Berry?
The only issue with the Weavile I'm seeing right now is like the ghost move is like so weak. So
Yeah, these are the two scenarios where you would just toxic him first.
yeah, yeah. The toxic is really good. I do agree with that. Yeah. So
Hmm. Yeah, so Banded without any item, like he does a bow half, so you could technically just
just recover stall it.
recover stall it. Yeah. We could also make like Tink as a potential like
Yeah, the
answer.
Weavile.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then
Then
you,
you're not Spadef.
yeah,
So
you'd probably be balloon on this guy then too, and then you would just pickpocket the item. So
you pickpocket the item. Yeah.
yeah, and then when he's not boosting, like your Pecharunt should for sure be able to just sit in front of it.
Hmm.
Um,
Do you think SD Weavile is a thing this matchup?
let's see. Yeah, I see it. I
Yeah.
can definitely see
Yeah.
SD because it does outspeed
Yeah.
everything besides this guy, and this guy probably takes a shitload from +2 shard. So
Yeah.
let's see how much we actually do. Shard to
Like SD
Deoxys.
boots.
Yeah. Yeah, so at +2, it'll do over half. I mean, this is no bulk. You wouldn't be no bulk, but it should probably do around half,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it could definitely be his win condition. Yeah, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, that's okay. The thing is, he has to SD on something, is the
On
thing.
something, yeah. Yeah.
And right now, he's got nothing to SD on. I'm assuming Tinka
Mm-hmm.
probably comes. Braviary, he could try to
Braviary.
because, like, we're threatened out, right? So he could call a
Mm-hmm.
switch. Obviously, if we don't
Mm-hmm.
switch, we do a lot to him. Um,
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Dio again, he can't really do that because unless he's expecting a switch, but we could easily just have like fighting coverage. So
Yeah.
it would mainly just be Braviary to try to Swords Dance on. I guess if we bring like Landorus, that could be another one. But
Yeah.
um, but yeah,
I
back to
think benching Lando is the call here.
yeah, I do too. Which it
Yeah.
sucks because it's one of your better runs, but it's just not a good matchup. It
It's
doesn't look
okay.
like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
um, let's see, Pecharunt. Let's check Moltres calcs real quick. How much is Flamethrower doing? Oh, that's the wrong guy. Pecharunt. It shouldn't be doing shouldn't be doing too much. I don't think we need Spadef for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oki, what does Oki run? Knockoff or Earthquake, right?
Yeah, one of those two, yeah. The thing is, it's not doing anything to Oki back, so.
Well, we can plot on that guy. That's the thing. He would have to be set up
Mm-hmm.
himself, otherwise he can't do anything to
Yeah,
us
he can't
either.
do anything, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then how about Sinistia? How much does Shadow Ball do to us? Solid chunk. Hex does solid chunk back. Mm.
By the way, the Braviary does hardwall the Sinistra, like
Yeah, it
fully
does.
hardwall it.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm. It can just
like it's best move. Like even though if it can matcha gotcha the thing, it's still like pretty solid into it.
yeah, and it can't even strength up us either if we're defiant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it probably is going to be defiant in this matchup, just again for that
Yeah,
Prima.
yeah. Mhm.
I'm not really seeing any reason to put Spadef into this guy though.
Okay, yeah,
Like
that's fine then. That's good for us.
yeah, like maybe again the treads. How much does Earth Power do? Let's see. Again, we're not really doing much back to treads anyway, but Earth Power. I mean, I guess if he's max special attack, like he does a lot. Maybe like we could put so we don't get two shot by like no investment. See how much it takes.
I
So,
guess it's no. I don't know if it's worth staying in on the treads. You know what I mean?
no. But you don't stay
Like,
unless it's like towards the end and maybe like you have to. But realistically,
yeah,
yeah, you shouldn't be staying in versus treads. No, I mean if it's
yeah.
physical, like you're gonna be eating it, but like we said, it should be special. I think here. So we could do
Mm-hmm.
this if you want. if you think it's worth it. Um,
I don't think
you
so.
don't think so?
Unless I'll check in the mocks as well. I'll
Okay.
check what's happening in the mocks. So, yeah.
All right.
It
So we'll
was
just.
112 first def, right? Oh, it was
Well,
on
we're just
max?
gonna
Okay.
put the rest in max. I don't think you need to invest in special attack here. Really, I don't think that's worth it.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
So we'll just go with this for now, and then. But yeah, like you said, you're doing mock, so things can change, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think I lead the game with? Like, what's the lead sequence? Is it the Ogerpon or the
well, we
Raging
need
Bolt,
to
for example?
let's finish the team first, and then we'll think
Oh, okay, okay,
because yeah,
okay.
I don't know. That's yeah, yeah, we'll do that at the end though for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, fair. No, because
Um,
I usually think of that when I'm making the team as well. So I was like, maybe you have that in mind as well.
yeah, not right now, no. But that's the thing. If we end up finishing the team and then like we can't like think of like a solid lead, then we'll probably change a set
Yeah,
or two and then
yeah.
make a better lead. Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
Def,
Um, Dio's kind of the
define
wild
this.
card. Yeah, let's do Braviary.
Yeah. I think we can just run mono flying move on this guy, right? Like,
Let's see. We need Roost, Defog, attacking move.
just put
Um,
setup
you think setup
default.
has the last slot?
But yeah, I mean, it's just so fat it can just set up it on its by its own self. Because unless he runs like a Terra Electric on his team or something,
Or Steel. Yeah.
or U-turn. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Could also be CC as well, like you said.
CC is interesting. We could do CC because if it is special treads, then this is technically like a solid treads answer too.
It sits even if it's like special treads. It just sits on treads. By the way, I've seen that happen. Don't worry. Like, in DFL, Shade just brought like mono Brave Bird Braviary, and he just like ended up chipping the treads down
Mm-hmm.
over the course of the game.
Yeah,
So
it could be
even with like
also.
mono Brave Bird,
It could be like facade too, just because he has a lot of ways to like
burn it. Yeah,
burn or
or
just
still.
thunderwave or poison. Like he has a lot of
Oh, I really like that
statuses.
a lot. Yeah,
So facade
yeah,
could be there just as a nice way to, and just so if you do
yeah,
get burned, you're not like just totally useless, you know. Um, so I'm thinking
yeah.
facade. I know technically you still
hmm
don't do a lot to treads, but I don't think that's the end of the
I
world.
think I think you're still doing decent. Like, because treads is also it has to respect the raging bolt as well. So
Yeah. Um, I think we have to. I think we're kind of forced to go Spadef here just for the Prima, if it's going to be our Prima switch.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and we still might be even like faster anyway. Like he needs a lot of speed on Prim to outspeed this. So
I'll speed this. Yeah.
if he does, then he's not going to be very bulky. Now again, do you want to go Citrus or do you want to go Boots here? Because this is our defogger, so we will probably be taking rocks to defog if we're coming in on him.
I think just go boots. Not gonna lie.
Okay, if we go Boots, then we do technically get 2-shot by Specs. Um,
Yeah.
but at least you'll know right away. And then if he is like, let's say he specs into, it'd probably be Surf because again we don't really have water resist.
Yeah.
Let me check to make sure because I was looking at Moonblast, not Surf. But let's see if that 2-shots. I think
Yeah.
it probably does too though.
hmm The water move is pretty strong into us
Yeah, so
generally.
it does 2-shot us. So, um, hmm, what can we do? Because he could just spam Surf over and over.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if he sees Terra Firebolt. So
Mm-hmm. Um,
you could make both like Assault Vest, for example. Like I don't know, like Terra Water Assault Vest. That could be a thing. But yeah, I don't know too much about that.
yeah, it is an option. Because then you could still technically just Terra Blast into this guy coming in.
hmm
It does make you. I mean, I guess if you have Braviary, Synestia is never really a problem.
Never. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It would just be, I guess, weaker to this dude. But we have
Oh yeah,
Pecharunt for
that's
this
true.
guy. Well, we
Yeah.
have Pecharunt, but technically, again, if it's that whole Sword Dance, I mean, That's not a bad idea. I kind of think that's maybe ideal is the water because
Mm-hmm.
again, you're still like
Right.
not weak to Weavile really. Like water's pretty good. His grass type, you hardwall, and his electric type. You know, you're faster than, and we're gonna have like an answer to that guy. So,
Mm-hmm.
that might be the play actually. Is just straight up assault vest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You could
because
still technically be like offensive like this though, or you can be more bulk. I guess we can
mm-hmm.
check how much we take from like a Moonblast.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see. Um, so this is specs
Oh my god.
damage.
Yeah, this is specs damage, correct?
So yeah, I mean Moonblast still 2 shots, but if you know he's locked into Moonblast, then you could probably pivot into Moonblast resist. I
Yeah.
think just having the water resist is probably the key
The
thing.
water resistance, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we probably stick with this set. I mean, we can. Excuse me. I mean, I really like having the speed to make sure we're faster no matter what.
Yeah, I do get it. Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
I was gonna say we could put some bulk just to make sure like we don't get 2 shot ever.
Yeah, we would need to take away from the special attack to
The
do it.
special attack, yeah. How much do we take if we
Yeah.
do this instead?
Oh, I think that might be a bit better. Yeah.
It is a bit better, yeah. It's still not like guaranteed to live too, but
Mm-hmm.
it is a bit better. That's probably just gonna be our spec, I think. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
like we said, like we have a lot of things faster than Primarina, so it shouldn't be just getting too many kills anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's fine. So I think we can initially pivot Braviary, and if he's not specs, like we're fine to just roost. And if he
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
specs, then again, if he locks in the Moonblast, you make your switch. If he locks in the Water Move, you make your switch. So I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And again, if
Right.
he is special treads, then this obviously helps too. So
Mm-hmm.
that's good. Okay, so we'll do boots. Okay, that's good. All right, so Dio Tank is probably gonna round out the team.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm thinking probably an offensive Dio here,
Yeah.
since
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like these 3 guys plus Tank is probably gonna be bulky, and then probably Dio would be offensive here.
Yeah. Like probably Cloverberry Dio, if I were to
Yeah,
guess.
I'm thinking probably just plot, right? Plot 3 attacks
Yeah.
with like Shadow
But
Ball,
yeah.
Psychic Move, Fighting Move, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It gets Drain Punch too. So if I guess if it wants to hit the Weavile, but yeah, plot is pretty strong here.
Yeah, you could technically just be like 2 special moves, like the Shadow Ball and Psychic, and then just Drain Punch, yeah, for this guy. Because you're not
Yeah.
Psychic plus Shadow Ball covers the rest. Well, I guess
Yeah.
Treads. But it doesn't get like Aura Spear, right? It has to run Focus Blast,
Yeah. Astral Focus Blast.
which is a
Yes.
bit scary. How much is we could do low kick instead? How much does low kick do to treads?
Probably a lot.
Because yeah, it's probably 120, right?
Yeah.
Low kick versus treads. Yeah, it is 120.
But
So
this is Life Orb.
yeah, but it's still doing a solid chunk.
Yeah.
So I like that. I think low kick plus Shadow Ball plus Psychic. Probably not Psycho Boost here.
Yeah.
If this is gonna be more like this would probably be our win condition set, I think.
Yes.
So it'd probably be plot, and then you don't really want to lower your special attack after.
Would you go Psychic or Psy
Yeah,
Shock here?
that's what I'm thinking right now. Um, I honestly think probably Psychic,
Mm-hmm.
just because it does way more to this guy as well as
Mm.
Synestia. Well, Synestia you're shadow balling anyway.
Shadow Ball.
The only thing you're psychicking is Psychic / Shock automatically kills this guy.
Almond destroys this guy.
So it's just Prim, Hens, and Moltres, and I think
Moltres.
Psychic is probably better versus these three compared to Psyshock.
Right, right.
So
Uh,
I'm thinking Psychic here.
mhm.
Culverberry. You could also, instead of plot, if you want,
You recover.
yeah, you could be Recover. The only thing is because I
Uh,
think it's a win condition set, you probably won't
I
plot.
yeah, yeah. Because then I'm scared I might not be able to muscle through. Um,
Hmm. Yeah. So
yeah.
the thing you would have to look out for is when you plot in front of something, if they do
Mm-hmm.
make the play and stay in, obviously it's ideal if they switch so you get it for free. But if they do
Mm-hmm.
make the play and hit you with whatever, does that hit plus like a shard kill you?
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, the good thing is I can just there. I don't need any speed investment in this game. So that's nice, I
Yeah,
guess.
you don't. Um,
Unless he runs like some Scarf Moltres or something weird like
yeah, Scarf
that.
Moltres, Scarf Oki, or Booster Speed Treads. I don't see Booster
Hmm.
Speed Treads. I mean, it can if
Nah.
he. I mean, if he likes offensive treads here, like
Mm.
he would run like so. He would need ground coverage, ice coverage, and then probably steel coverage. That's really all he needs. So I mean, he could if he wants to be offensive here, like Booster Speed.
Mm.
Um, yeah, just the thing is though, if he runs offensive treads, he just has nothing for Bolt. It's a possibility. I wouldn't like assume like definitely not.
Mm.
I just don't think
Mm.
it's likely. So I don't think we run like a lot of speed just to cover for that. I think we probably
Mm.
just run like the max bulk set, like this.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Um.
Uh, how much is it even doing to Weavile with low kick? Like,
Oh yeah,
sure,
let's check
it's
that.
yeah, that's kind of yeah.
I mean, it we could put some attack. Like it would probably take a good amount though to make sure it always kills, right?
Yeah, but that's a lot of attack investment.
Yeah. I think you don't put any like you'll have rocks. He might try to spin them away. We do have spin blocker. We do have defog.
Uh,
Like,
it's more the Boots SD Weavile set.
mm, well, I don't know. The only thing we could really do. Do you think flash cannon does more, or like flame?
Flash
Does
can
does it
definitely
get
does more.
flamethrower? No.
I wish it did.
Yeah, it'd have to be flash cannon from like max special attack. Let's see if it does more. We could run
But then
flash
it's
cannon.
not doing anything to treads, so
That's true. We'd have to just shadow ball it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it does less anyway. We have to be plotted to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, it could be meteor beam with that. Meteor beam
Mm-hmm.
is not a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a case of like doing a mock and seeing like what's looking good in
Ye-
the moment, kind of deal.
Yeah, I think this is probably okay. Um,
Yeah.
ideally you probably just have a little bit of chip. We could even make this guy
Mm-hmm.
helmet and just be the initial switch into Weavile,
Really well. Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
true.
it would put it in range of the other attack.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. I know we said like potentially balloon. Like balloons like looks like solid, and then we get rid of this guy's item, which is nice. But if we just make this the initial Weavile switching anyway, then
Right. Yeah.
like we're fine. We already have a
Mm-hmm.
Colbert Berry in
Mm-hmm.
this guy, so
Mm-hmm.
I will say the lack of momentum is a little bit concerning to try to get in like this
I th-
guy.
I guess Bolt might be the momentum guy.
Yeah, like it does have Volt Switch AV, which is nice. Um,
Uh, unless you, I guess you want to make like Pecharunt parting shot or plot or something, but then you're losing like that offensive thing.
yeah, I mean, toxic into plot is always toxic into parting is nice
Mm-hmm.
because if they stay in, then you probably can tell what they're clicking versus a Pecharunt, and then you can make a nice switch.
Yeah.
Plus you lower their things, and then if they switch, then you just get the momentum anyway. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that might be the play, is parting here.
Right. Yeah.
Because it does help you get into this guy too, which is what we want, right?
Hmm.
So what do you think about that change? Parting over plot.
I think I'm good experimenting with that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll throw parting for now. I think
Even if he's clear amulet, I think I'm still okay with that. So like
y-
on something, I don't know what do you clear
yeah,
amulet?
yeah, I don't even know what. Maybe this guy, because we can't toxic him either.
Probably.
That would be,
Probably. Yeah.
yeah, that would probably be the Pokemon for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but that's okay. Again, we have a Fizdef this guy, so we could just go into this guy, for example. Maybe
Hmm.
Encore. Like we'll have to like make plays obviously based on the team he brings. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, I like this. I think this is okay.
This is going.
Um,
Uh,
just like
with
that.
minus. Can you? Oh, maybe check the calc with minus attack. I guess on the deal.
Yeah, we were doing what 83 to 98 with no minus attack. So
Yeah.
let's see how much more we lose with minus attack. So wow. If you go modest, so it's still be in rocks range, but he wouldn't be in helmet range. So we could go a minus defense here. Which one would we want to go?
Oh no. Definitely not defense. Definitely not minus defense. Because
Yeah,
then you're weaker to ice shard. So
yeah, probably Sudef, huh?
probably yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's okay though. Minus Sudef.
Yeah.
So it would be what? Like rash?
If you do minus speed, can you do like minus speed and check? By the way, I'm actually curious.
We can, but I mean, technically, if this guy is speed creeping, yeah, Weavile should be creeping the
Then
ogre, and we would still be
yeah,
faster.
we'll be faster. Yeah,
Um, that's up to you. It's a
it's
risky
a
thing, but
it's a very risky
yeah,
thing.
it,
Yeah.
it should work because I don't know why. If this guy's like in playoffs, like why would he not do that creep? You know.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. I think you could probably get risky
Either.
here and run this. I think. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like the one game he runs like max speed. We
Yeah, that would be really weird. Can he get away with adamant here? No, that sucks. He'd have to go
no. No.
jolly.
He has to go jolly.
I mean, unless he calls our thing creeping this guy, because then he could
Yeah.
creep that and he could go adamant. So, but regardless, if he does that, you're still faster. So like,
Yeah.
I think this is fine, honestly.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so we said we probably want to be helmet on this guy, huh?
Hmm.
All right, Rocky helmet. And again, even if he knocks it off, we do take the item.
Big bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably rocks. Rocks. Probably we
Gigaton
need
is pretty
Gigaton.
strong.
Yeah, Gigaton. Rocks, Gigaton. What, like maybe knockoff?
Knock is pretty good too. Yeah.
What's the ground type? Is this guy?
Oh,
Yes.
I could be Encore versus like SD hands.
Yeah, I'm thinking Encore. I was just thinking of the last move, like Gigaton, and then what we want. So like I'm thinking like knock because like something to get rid of Moltres item or like this item. Those are
Yeah.
probably the two switch
Yeah.
ins, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So probably just
Maybe like a
knock off, right?
yeah. Yeah. Could be a random screen as well.
Um, could it definitely could.
Hmm. I think knock is just safe, especially into Moltres.
Yeah, I feel like Moltres is just a pretty safe switch into this guy always. So
Hmm.
getting rid of that guy's boots is nice. Could also just be like Thunder Wave or something.
Hmm.
But then
But yeah.
Trez kind of walls you then if you do that.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, you really shouldn't be staying in versus Treds anyway. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, if I can knock like the Treads' Assault Vest or whatever, right? I think.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's like Akaberry or something too. Like he I feel like he's gonna
Oh
have a
yeah.
lore for this guy on something.
Yeah, something. Otherwise, this guy kills.
Yeah. So we'll do knock though. That's good. Um, now we can. Do we need speed? Mm, I think maybe just 8 or 12 speed just to catch them like trying to creep it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
And then like what? Spadef or Fizdef over here?
I'm thinking probably Fizdef, right? We already have
Yeah,
Braviary
that makes
plus
sense.
AV
For the Prim.
for the Prim slash potential like Moltres or Ground
Yeah,
or Special Tread. So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
probably Fizdef, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be like that. Impish. Ooh. So yeah, this would be. You might not. You might have to throw this in early versus something like hands or something just to cover
Mm-hmm.
anything crazy. But
And the steam.
ideally this is taking the knock from Weavile.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. Yeah, we still need the last move on this guy.
I think U-turn is probably the last move.
So U-turn. So we would have to cudgel into like U-turn on a potential like Terra Dragon. It does kind of
Yeah,
suck if this thing is Terra Dragon. Or, I mean, I guess either of them. Like
yeah.
we never really beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, but I mean, we can't really do anything about that. Even if we were play rough, like
Yeah, like it's not doing
I
anything.
don't think we do half. Yeah, and then we're always threatened out by a flying move.
Mhm.
So what about
Plus,
spikes? Nah.
plus, yeah, it can maintain the momentum into our fighter stuff.
Right. Yeah, and like if they do bring in like that guy, we can just U-turn into like Bolt, for example.
Mm.
You know, I feel like this game might come
Yeah,
down to how many hits Bolt can get off too.
yeah.
Um, it could also just be.
Spin
Yeah, I was gonna
as well,
say like
or
you. Yeah, I was literally gonna say synth. And then maybe even like knockoff instead of Rock Tomb.
okay,
Um,
okay.
to kind of help with uh like chipping down Moltres. It could also try to be like we said, it could very easily be like a Uxie or just like a Fizdev Oki as the check instead. But
Yeah, that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but Moltres is a pretty good answer to him at first. I mean,
Mhm.
you could if the let's say the Moltres isn't terrored yet, you could technically try to make a play and just rock him immediately. Um,
Mhm.
but that's up to
In my
you.
experience, it does get shaky with players like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Especially if you don't have synthesis as your
yeah,
last move, because then your health is very important. Hmm.
there's spike as well. Like spike, but like you want to be hitting stuff with this, right? Like not spiking.
Yeah, and then we have defog too, so it's like kind of
Yeah, yeah.
counterintuitive.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Let's check. I want to see. I want to see Swords Dance one more time though, like calcs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was literally thinking like SD synthesis. I guess could be.
Yeah. Um. So if he
Yeah,
doesn't
so
Terra, obviously we're not doing shit. um, but he has to be scared of the rock move is the thing.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, if he's Terra Dragon, I guess it's the same calc, right?
Yeah.
Um, how much does Play Rough do? I'm curious. Terra Dragon. This is +2. Huh.
And this is like Fizz Def Terra
Yeah.
Dragon kind of. Oh,
Yeah, like it does a. It it could be best to literally just be 4 attacks too.
yeah, yeah.
Because if he doesn't Terra Rock Tomb will obviously like do a lot.
Just yeah, just too short. Yeah, yeah.
And if he does Terra, like what does he Terra into? Like it kind of has to be Dragon, right? To resist the stab.
Mm-hmm.
It can be Fire, I guess. It would just like straight up Fire to lose the quad
Fire
weakness.
can yeah, 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 yeah. Fire can also work the same.
Yeah.
And then he's resisting player off. So
Yeah, he resists everything besides Rock Tomb, but Rock Tomb's not going to do too much because it's only double. Would he be
man,
Terrifier?
then he's weak to Landorus. So I guess he has switches to Landorus, so you should be fine
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah, Terrifier is actually interesting. I guess, again, like Swords Dance would help there because you'd SD and then, I guess, Rock
Rock
Tomb.
Tomb.
Do you just straight up
Yeah.
die to a Hurricane?
I,
Yeah.
Damn, that's like no investment too.
Yeah, this freaking Moltres is actually annoying as hell. What can we do to this Moltres? Is there any way we can just like outplay this Moltres? Not really. Like this doesn't get a ton of.
Yeah, it just runs like. But here's the thing, right? Like the Moltres isn't doing much to Bolt unless it has a coverage move into the Bolt, right? So
Yeah,
that is
but
pretty terrible. So that's
yeah, but the thing is like
like
he just needs Moltres to like check this guy, and then like he'll have
yeah,
his whatever for Bolt, like Uxie or whatever he wants to do.
yeah.
So if he gets rocks up too, like we're just taking chip every single time. This guy,
We're getting screwed that way.
if we don't have synth. So I mean, I guess like if we run like let's say knock synth, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
let's say this is our set. We knock off whatever the switch-in is. If it
Mm-hmm.
is the Moltres, like technically, whatever the Terra is, fire or dragon or whatever, we technically have like everything else does a lot of damage to it. Like, and everything
Mm-hmm.
else is probably gonna be faster besides these two guys. Bolt will probably be faster because we're
And it's
running a lot of speed. Well,
yeah,
actually, how much is no speed Bolt or no speed Moltres? 219. So yeah, we would be faster. So, and I mean, I guess, and these two guys too that are slower, like this guy can just toxic it, and this guy, can just kind of chip it down with Brave Bird, and then if he burns us, like, we still do a lot. So,
mm-hmm.
the fact that like everything else pretty much beats the Moltres, I feel like just using this
Yeah.
maybe just to get rid of its item, and then
Yeah. It's
ideally,
also very good mid ground as well into the Moltres. Like
yeah, like you're just getting an item no matter what, whatever it is. So maybe we run Nox Synth here.
mm-hmm.
Maybe he just doesn't bring Moltres, or maybe he lets it go down pretty early, and then you just spamming Cudgel is free.
Mm-hmm.
I think this might be the better route here,
Yeah.
just so we don't get screwed over by
Just
hazards too.
yeah. So it's 340. Do we just run speed for the treads, right? I like don't see why not.
Probably, yeah. So we wouldn't really have much bulk. But we could still synth on things like Uxie or things like
Yeah.
Sinistra or like whatever, Like there's a couple of things to
Yeah.
synth on for sure.
Yeah.
So this would be our spread, I think. So still getting this guy in as much as possible. Maybe like if Moltres comes and then like we get the whole sequence of like knocking it off and then switching out. Maybe next time we have like a free switch in with Pecharunt parting shot. Maybe we just go Bolt
Yeah.
instead, because if the Moltres is still like fairly healthy, like he's just gonna
Yeah.
bring in Moltres, like that, and there's nothing you can really do with
Yeah.
Ogerpon. So you bring in something else perhaps. So
Yeah. Maybe the synth could end up being SD anyways, so
maybe, yeah,
I guess
maybe.
that would need to be checked, yeah.
Yeah, you got to see. Like you said, you'll do some mocks, so you'll see some test trials.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but you already have like a setup on this guy too. So, I mean, I think
Yeah.
this team is fine. Honestly, I don't think it's anything
Yeah.
sticks out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, I think this is okay for now. Let's think of our leads though. See if anything troubling happens. So, um, what is our lead here? It could honestly just be Pecharunt immediately, because, well, Well, Uxie lead. So Uxie could technically lead with like a trick would be the thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's all good. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm not really
But
sure. What do we like? It's kind of weird because like, let's say we lead like Pecharunt, but we're like scared to scout for a trick. Like, we could technically make go hard ogre to block the trick,
then
but
T waves or something.
yeah, that's kind of crazy if he does like anything else, even if he just like stealth rocks or something, like. Eh.
Yeah.
So we might have to like obviously getting Pecharunt tricked would suck. Um,
Mm,
what do we do here? We could technically lead ogre because then he wouldn't trick
mm,
obviously turn one.
yeah. Or could also lead Bolt, I guess. Get the Terra off immediately and like go from there. But
Yeah,
then we're like,
we could
yeah,
technically like volt switch perhaps on maybe a Uxie lead, like because we might outspeed it. We have a lot of speed on this guy.
yeah. I don't
Um,
think he runs that much speed. Just
it,
Volt it.
yeah, I mean if the Uxie is made for bolt, I would probably creep like modest bolt, so he would outspeed us. But
Mm,
I'm not really sure how he would go on about that. There's a good chance that
yeah.
we outspeed it. So bolt lead could definitely work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what would. So if we bolt lead into treads, we would just probably just straight up Terra Blast, right? Nothing crazy there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Primus, we would just volt switch.
Yeah.
Weavile, I don't know if we
Just a
want
hard
to.
tank.
Yeah, I don't think we want to take a knock on that guy. So we probably go
Yeah.
hard
No.
Tink.
Yeah.
Sinistra, we can probably
It's
volt
just a
switch.
bravery. Yeah.
I think you volt switch though, right? You can stay in regular form if you don't want to
Mhm.
take like I don't know, like an offensive like leaf storm or something. You probably just stay in regular form volt
Yeah.
switch. Um,
Yeah.
into Braviary. Uxie again. I think you Terra volt switch. I think is the play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okie dokie lead.
Yeah. The doggy might be a bit. No, we have a Petron for that. So
Yeah, again, the thing is we don't really do much back, but we could just pivot in and
yeah.
then
Sure.
parting shot, I think is fine.
Yeah.
Weaken him a bit and then go into probably Tink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Tink is fine. So yeah, versus Oki lead, we would probably pivot Pecharunt and then parting shot is the play. If he knocks us off,
Yeah.
that's fine because then the knockoffs will be doing less anyway after.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Moltres, we just Terra and then probably Volt Switch. I mean, I guess you could look at their Terra type, but I don't think that matters. I think you still just Volt Switch anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then same with hands. I think you just Volt Switch into. What would he click versus a Raging Bolt turn one? If we Terra Water.
Like Drain Punch.
Yeah, we
Or
could. Yeah, we could just make the Pecharunt play, right? Like just Volt into Pecharunt.
yeah.
And if he
You can
shows
also just
Terra.
raw SP too.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a bit risky because we could easily just go Tink and
The
Encore.
Encore. Yeah. Yeah.
But I still
That's
think
true.
Pecharunt probably is the play, yeah. And if he SDs, I think you
Mm-hmm.
just Toxic. Toxic and then
Mm-hmm.
Parting Shot, yeah. You might end
Yeah.
up taking like literally majority of your health, but I think that's your best play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, if he is Terra Ground, like if he shows Terra Ground, and you're showing Terra Water, I don't know. I don't know if he would just Terra then, but obviously it's a bit risky just to Volt Switch on a potential ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you might have to just hard go Pecharunt there. So you
On
don't
a
have to.
Terra Ground.
Yeah, if he's showing Terra Ground preview because it's tough. Like you could just Terra Blast, but you're gonna take potentially
Like
a big
a
hit.
lot.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough because if you Terra Water, then you're not weak to it. You're not weak to Earthquake. He could predict it and go for a Thunder Punch, I guess. So like
Yeah.
it's a bit tricky if he's showing Terra Ground.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, you just Volt Switch. You're fine to Volt Switch.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best play if he's Terra Ground? hard Pesha on just raw Terra Earthquake would suck.
Yeah,
Mm,
raw earthquake will definitely suck for sure.
yeah, because I mean you're not gonna go into Braviary, right? On the
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the hands. Hmm. This is a bit tricky.
I think most likely I'll have to sack the Pecharunt's health, turn it to toxic, and then like wear it down kind of deal.
Yeah, let's see. Iron Hands. If he's Terra Ground. Earthquake versus Pecharunt. Let's import our team real quick. Mm, how much is he doing? Pecharunt, Earthquake. Yeah, a lot. That's. I mean, I guess he could be booster attack, but yeah, he does about
Mm,
over half if he just clicks that. And honestly, if I'm him, like I do just straight up click that because even if you do click barrier, he just
yeah,
thunder punch after anyway. So he
yeah.
shouldn't get set
So
up
it's
happy.
yeah.
How much do
Again, we
you
have a land.
do?
You also have a Landorus too, but it can just ice punch that anyways.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying if he sees our team that we bring, like he has no reason not to just
yeah, right. Yeah.
Earthquake. We could technically just Terra Blast. We would be sacking, potentially majority of our bolt. But we would come out on top in that scenario if he does Terra.
Yeah.
Like we would beat him. We would just pretty
Yeah.
much lose our bolt after, which might suck
Yeah.
because then
We don't have the prim check, so
yeah, water move is just a kill pretty much. Unless if he's not specs. I mean if he's specs then yeah, but if he's anything but specs, Braviary should be able to roost on him. I
yeah,
guess if
he's
he's like
on.
calm mind, it can get a bit scary, but yeah.
Mhm.
Um. Hmm. Maybe if he sees like if he shows Terra Ground hands, like we
Mhm.
lead something else. Like that's the only scenario.
Yeah, that's the only scenario. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's fine. So yeah, anything other than ground, you're just okay to volt switch, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um
That's good. Yeah.
if he shows Terra Ground hands at preview, we have to go something where we don't just get owned by that lead. So it would probably just have to be Pecharunt immediately just to toxic and then parting shot.
Right.
So what would be the bad scenario if we lead Pecharunt then?
The
Mm,
bad scenario, probably, yeah, the Uxie lead, for example, is like the bad scenario in that case, right? Like, especially if it's Trick. So,
yeah. Huh. Pecharunt versus Uxie lead. I mean, yeah, I still think you probably have to stay in. Like, I don't think you wanted anything else to get tricked is the problem.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so the thing
Yeah.
is, okay, so let's say they trick you a scarf or something. You probably toxic turn one, I think. And then
Mm-hmm.
you'll make your switch into whatever. And then basically later in the game, you could basically just use this as like a parting shot.
Parting
Probably
shot,
bot.
but yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a hit and then parting shot out is probably going to be your thing. Um,
Yeah.
you could
So, you're
technically, and you could technically throw it in versus like Weavile, right? Because if he knocks off,
well,
then
yeah,
you're fine,
that's
right?
true.
And
That's
then,
true. That's true.
if he doesn't, like, even with the scarf, you're still slower than Weavile. So you'll be
Mm-hmm.
still getting like slow momentum, technically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what you would do. And any other case where he's not, where he's not trick, then if he's like just a rock sleed, then you're fine to just toxic and then parting shot out,
Toxic.
and try to
So,
defog or whatever.
so like this is this the scenario where the hands is Terra Ground or like generally
Yeah.
like
If
just
it's
lead
Terra
Petra?
Ground, yeah, then you lead
Okay,
Pecharunt.
then I'll lead Petra.
Anything
Okay,
else, you're
okay,
fine to
okay.
lead Bolt.
Bolt.
Um,
Okay, yeah.
if you do lead Bolt and it is Uxie lead, then obviously the threat of Trick Scarf is there yet again. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so if you want in that scenario, if you lead Bolt, I think you can pivot to Pecharunt if you want to scout for it. I think that's fine.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Is if let's say Bolt does get tricked Scarf, is it
Hmm.
like the end of the world kind of
No,
deal?
no, no. It's definitely not
No,
because
right?
it's we do get some speed on this guy, and you'll actually probably be the fastest guy in the game because
On the
Weavile should be
field, yeah.
creeping. Weavile should be creeping the this guy. So it's
Yeah,
not the end of the world, and you're probably gonna just lock into Terra Blast majority of the time because even if
yeah,
he has the cup, you're fine with Braviary, and yeah, Primer resists it, but it doesn't have recovery, so it's not the end of the
yeah.
world. I think if you just lock into like just Terra Blast, honestly, if you're
Terra
Scarf,
Blast, yeah, yeah.
if he's Terra Dragon, then maybe think about locking into Dragon Pulse or Volt
Dragon
switching, but.
Pulse.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. You could probably just stay in then and versus Uxie and just Volt Switch, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me. Yeah. What another possible scenario is like discharge over T-Bolt. Um,
Because
can
we're
that
max
come into
special
play?
attack, I think we're just going for
I think
damage
you just
here.
want the damage. Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. That's
yeah.
fine.
I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think this is fine. Um, I think your win condition
Yeah.
is Dio. Hey, you might
Mm-hmm.
not even need to get a plot, honestly. If it's like late game and things are chipped, maybe you just throw off
Yeah, it
attacks.
just kills everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I think we have good switch ins to things and then just good potential breaking power with this guy plus Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think this is
Yeah.
fine. Are there any other concerns you're thinking of, or you think we're okay for now at least before the mocks?
I think everything's fine. I at face value everything looks pretty good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're good to adjust as we go. If you do some mocks and stuff like that, so just message me
Yeah.
the replays and talk about it. And I'll obviously respond. So, but
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're okay then. Thank you for joining me, man. Hopefully we can get this dub, and then
Yeah, I
um,
really want to.
yeah, you're pretty much at the end of the queue too. So there's just like one more guy I think after you. So I might actually be
Okay,
able to
okay.
get you on pretty quickly as a second time if you would
Yeah,
want
I,
that.
re- I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, hell yeah. So all right, that is going to do it for us, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the battle. Peace. All right, guys, we're here for SirKill's game for the quarterfinals of TBC, I believe. One last look at the pace. Only thing we changed, I think, was he put U-turn over knockoff to get the U-turn into Bolt on that potential Moltres. So actually gonna go ahead and switch the viewpoint real quick. And yeah, they pretty much brought what we expected. Nothing too crazy there. So let's see what Terra types they are. Looks like they revealed to be Terra Electric on the hands and Terra Ground on the Moltres. So that's kind of interesting. We really expected, I think, Terra Ground on the hands, but they actually went for Terra Ground on Moltres. Okay, so maybe they're gonna go for a Terra Moltres kind of deal here. But we lead Bolt into the tread, so this is really good for us. We could just show off a Terra Blast right away. They choose to get up the rocks, and they just sack their treads. So we'll take that. Good start for us. Yeah, and we can just really Vultures because, again, we really expected like Terra Ground here. So if it was Terra Ground, it's not so much of easy Volt Switch because they could always Terra. But because it's Terra Electric, yeah, we could just Volt Switch into our Pecharunt. No big deal here. They end up going for the Wild Charge. Doesn't really do much damage. And now we could throw off a Toxic or Recover or a Parting Shot. So let me think here. I mean, so because the rocks went up, he probably wanted to get the defog off immediately. So that is why he probably went for Parting Shot. I think either play is fine. The thing is, if you catch the toxic on literally anything, I don't think he was gonna go. Maybe he thought he was predicting Okie Dokie to come in, but basically, if he would have just toxic the Uxie coming in, or if he would have just toxic hands coming in, I mean, one, he beats the hands 1v1, but realistically, he's going to go probably Uxie, and then you could pivot out into Braviary and Defog, but he probably just really valued getting the Defog off immediately, so I don't think the Parting Shot is a bad play. I think the play also works. He goes for T-Wave, but we do have Facade, so we don't mind that at all, and we are able to remove the hazards. The Uxie does reveal to be Encore, so we do have to switch. We go Tink, which is good. And they do get the play right by double Thunder Braving, but we had to switch, so pretty heads up play. Nothing really crazy there though. Getting paralyzed on Tink isn't really a big deal, honestly though. Now we reveal Substitute. What? Thunderwave, Encore, Substitute Uxie. Okay, that's interesting. We just get off the rocks though. This is fine for us. We can just break this up, and okay, so they're less attack a Psychic Noise. So yeah, I mean we can just beat this 1v1 with Tink. It doesn't really do any damage to us. We could probably honestly just go into Braviary too. It's not gonna really do much damage to us. It's -1, but they switch to Moltres. We pivot to Ogerpon. So they're not boots. So they're probably, yeah, they probably wanted to Tera Ground like pretty early, but I guess they just couldn't. So we do have to respect potentially Choice Scarf. It could be Scarf. I'm not really too sure. So I think we just make the play out to Bolt. That's our pretty much check. It's no big deal. Go for a Flamethrower, doesn't really do anything, and now we can just throw off a Terra Blast. There's no resist. Yep, pretty nice. And then we can Volt Switch out on a Psychic Noise. Actually, he could have Thunderwave was the thing. So I feel like just going Tinkaton there is probably a bit better. You know, the speed on this guy isn't too valuable, but I mean, it does outspeed quite a bit of his team, actually. Like, these two Pokemon, importantly, and like, you know, obviously just getting full paired could be huge in a game. So I don't think it's worth just taking a slow Volt Switch for 30% when we know Tinkaton just pretty much hard walls this guy. So I think the play there is actually go hard Tinkaton and not risk a Thunderwave, but thankfully the opponent didn't go for Thunderwave. They probably went for Psychic Noise expecting either Braviary or Tink to come in. So now we can bring in Hearth Flame and we just get a free Cudgel off. Nothing crazy here. Big Cudgel. Nice. Crit definitely did not matter. Okie dokie comes in. This is probably a little bit scary. We don't really know what this guy wants to do, but we go... Okay, so we go Braviary here. Knockoff does decent chunk, and then... Okay, so we just sack Braviary. So if he wants to still preserve Pecharunt for hands, that's fine. This guy could have been nice for Prim, but we're paralyzed, so again, we're kind of playing around with Parachance. So it's honestly not a big deal that we sack Braviary. We know that this guy isn't choice locked now, and then we could just go for an attack here, no problem. As I actually reveal Endure, so this is the most obvious Custap or Salic Berry. Yeah, it's Custap, so does he switch here? Nice, he does Scout for it. Okay, good. We just go Tink, which is fine, and we actually kill him with Helmet, so... yeah, I think SirKill's in a pretty commanding position right now. Primarina comes in, but we have Encore, so we could just lock him into whatever. We get paralyzed, unfortunately. Surf comes off. Does he Encore? Yeah. Alright, so now he's locked into Encore. He chooses to go Ogerpon here. Well, I feel like probably... yeah, I guess Ogerpon is there. He did boost his Spit Def. So I was gonna say like maybe Raging Bolt, because can't just like discharge this guy down. Like we're Terra Water Assault Vest, right? So I'm pretty sure we still beat it, but I suppose he wants to go Ogerpon instead just to get a big hit off because it doesn't have high defense. So we go Ogerpon here. We Horn Leech. It's actually Rindo Berry. Interesting. So okay, and then Surfs us. Okay, and then they switch. We could just double Horn Leech though here, or Horn Leech into Cudgel now. Okay. Moltres comes in. It takes another 50%. And then finally he gets a Tera, but he's already too low. And I mean, Dio can win this game. Ogerpon can win this game. Doesn't really matter. Oh, he's okay. So he's Choice Scarf Moltres. Okay. Yeah. So he really wanted to get that Tera off before the rocks went up, but he took two rounds of rocks. So that Moltres pretty much did nothing. And then the Primarina shows off Jet, which obviously is not enough. So really well played to SirKill, man. I don't really think there was too many plays that were like, whoa, what the heck is he doing? You know, it was just pretty much risking Bolt getting potentially parried was not ideal, but Bolt didn't even really come in after anyway, so it's not really a huge deal. Braviary sack on the Okie Dokie makes sense because everything else was pretty important. Other than that, that's really it. So he pretty much played a near like perfect game, honestly. He wasn't really under any threat. I think he was in control most of this game. You know, the Trez just getting rocks up and then dying when we have defog is really, really good for us because Trez was kind of annoying for us to switch into, but he handled it really well and well played as SirKill, man. Good luck in the semifinals. So, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to be part of this series, all you gotta do is join the Discord down below and sign up in the Teambuilding with Zooch sign up channel by typing the word in. I actually just finished the queue, so if you guys want to join that have already been on the channel, you are more than welcome to sign up again. However, first time signups will get priority over you guys. So thank you guys a ton for watching. I'll see you guys later.